Hello everyone, my name is Camille Bird and this is my presentation for AppArmor and HTTPS for ISA 4220 Fall 2019. What is AppArmor? AppArmor is a Mac system, mandatory access control, that uses a Linux security module to restrict programs to certain resources. AppArmor is pre-installed and enabled on an Ubuntu machine. In AppArmor, there are two profiles that are run. They're run in two modes, complain mode and enforce mode. Complain mode allows applications to take restricted actions and then creates a log entry complaining about these actions. In enforce mode, it prevents applications from taking restricted actions and reports restricted attempts in a syslog or audit D. To view the AppArmor status, in the terminal, you can run the following command in sudo AppArmor_status. And to install AppArmor, in the terminal, you run sudo -get install AppArmor-utils. Utils is a necessary function to have on your AppArmors because this displays all the profiles of the commands. AppArmor hardening recommendations. It is best to reboot a system after completing installation. This is necessary so that AppArmor can have all the confined systems of the daemons. You need to also ensure that it gets regularly patched and updated by using unintended -upgrades. Password should be strong as a user when you install AppArmor is created and is added to the admin group, which allows him to have a root access. You need to have a strong password because it is important for the system to be protected by this. What is HTTP and what is HTTPS? HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol and an application protocol to enable communication between web page data. HTTP uses a TCP port 80 to encode and transport information between a client such as a web browser and a web server. What is HTTPS? It's Hyper Transfer Protocol Secure. It is pretty much the same version as a HTTP. The only difference is that it is a secure transportation where it has a transport encrypted data by using a TCP port 443 and over SSL protocol. So we're going to go and talk about what is Apache. Apache is a cross-platform software that allows you to run a secure website such as Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, or any website that you use for like browsing. It has modules for security, caching, password authentication, load balancing, and geolocation based on IP address. There are a few pros and cons when it comes to Apache. The pros: it is an open source and it's free. It is easy to configure. It is a cross-platform, means that it can work on Linux systems and also Windows systems. It is frequently patched and security updates are frequently done by the creators, and it's flexible due to the module-based structure. The cons of Apache includes that heavy traffic-based websites can cause performance issues and also security vulnerabilities due to a variety of multiple configuration options that Apache offers. Hardening recommendations for Apache. It is recommended that you run Apache as a separate user and group. By default, Apache runs its process with a nobody or daemon. For security reasons, it is recommended to run its own non-privileged account. You also need to disable directory listing and also disable any unnecessary modules that you might have. This is because you need to do this because you have the chance of becoming a victim of a web attack, and by disabling these unnecessary modules, you reduce those chances. You can also list all compliant modules of the web server with the following command, and also update Apache Regular for security patches. You always need to use the latest version of Apache as your web server. And you can check the Apache version by using HTTPD --v command. What is Windows Internet Information Services, IIS? Internet Information Services, otherwise known as IIS, is a web server that runs on Microsoft Windows OS. It accepts requests from remote client computer and returns the appropriate response. IIS is used to host ASP.NET web application and static websites. It also can be used as an FTP server or host a WCF services, and can be extended to host web applications built on platforms such as PHP. IIS can be separated into two layers: a kernel module, where it access to connected hardware and can execute any command, or a user mode, where any code executed or command short of accessing hardware of reference memory. Recommendations for hardening IIS. Ensure the Windows OS is updated with all security patches. To reduce potential attacks, disable any features of IIS that is not in use. Control which IP addresses and domains can access the server. And you also need to ensure that the server is only receiving valid packets by using firewalls. To manage and view visitors accessing the web server, you need to use logging. Make sure that error pages limit the number of information that is displayed. That is the end of this presentation. Thank you.